I remember when I first traveled, my mother did a prayer in Somali language, which basically translated says, wherever you go, might God open the doors for you. So when I arrived first at the airport in Amsterdam, you know, there are these automatic doors, which as you walk in, they automatically open. Then I was kind of mesmerized. I said, wow, the prayer is answered. The doors are just opening as I walk in. At various different stages. I was in the same class with a number of people today you will consider as prominent.
Give us the names.
Judge Warsame.
Judge
Mohamed Warsame was we were in the same class. I don't know whether he remembers, but we were in the same class. Nur Gabo, former deputy IG. Ambassador Faye was one class behind me. Mheshimiwa Kainan was in Garbatula school, I think 2 or 3 classes behind me. Advocate lawyer Ahmed Nasir was, when I was in Mandera, was 1 class ahead of me. So we're almost in the same category, I would say.
I mean, were you certain that you guys will be elected, or you were just trying your luck?
You know, when you go into an election, you never go with the half-hearted approach. You go with the thinking that you're going to win. Once you start doubting yourself, then you better not start. Yes.
When you became the Deputy Governor of Isiolo and you took the seat, you guys were leaving the office by 2017.
Yes.
From the period which you became the Deputy Governor and when you were leaving, what are some of the changes you did in that particular county?
But within, I believe our poverty, our challenges are things that we bring upon ourselves.
Sure.
We could have easily gotten rid of poverty if we all used Umar ibn Khattab's leadership doctrine.
It is not once, it's not twice, it's not thrice. They have been there. Our governors are not able even to answer the Senate on whatever initiative they are taking, on whatever development. They're not even...
Then I told you, English is the language of the people of Igrat. When you interview me in English, sometimes even me, I'll fumble.
Do you think whatever the former deputy president is saying, do you find a whiff of truth inside it? This idea of saying this region received 1 trillion shillings, what did you do with it? So you are 1 trillion shillings, 700 billion went to salaries. So what do you do with 700 billion that went to salaries? Did you expect to have a major highway? Hello everyone, welcome to Sango Insight. Now today we have a very special guest, Mohamed Guleid. Mohamed Guleid, the name Guleid is a well-known name back in Isiolo County. It is very well known to us that we normally bring you very important guests, which by the end of the episode, you will have their lessons, their challenges, and their skills. Tune with us as we give opportunity to Mohamed Guleid to introduce himself and as we have this beautiful conversation. Welcome to Sango Insights.
Thank you, Fatruddin.
Who is Mohamed Guleid?
Mohamed Guleid is from Isiolo.
Yes.
56 years old.
Yes.
Former Deputy Governor, Isiolo County, the year 2013 to 2017. Thereafter, I became the CEO of the Frontier Counties Development Council, which I will explain to you shortly, the purpose and the objective. And currently, I work as the coordinator for the NEDI initiative, the North-Northeast Development Initiative, which I'll also explain to you what it's all about. But before that, I was born in Isiolo County, and I went to school in a place called Garbatula.
Garbatula.
I don't know whether you
it's
know.
Well-known Garbatula.
Yes, and later on I had also attended a number of schools in Northeastern, Wajir, in Mandera. So I'm very familiar with not only Isiolo, but also the Northeastern counties, including even Garissa. Thereafter, I went for my studies abroad, did my master's in social anthropology, or what we call cultural anthropology, in the Free University in Amsterdam, of which I did up to my master's level.
What about the bachelor's?
It is a combined degree. They don't have, they don't separate. It's a 5-year course, and they combine both masters and bachelor's. So you go in as one complete
Which year
course.
was that?
That was it started back in 1994 and completed around 1998. Yeah. Around 2000. Let me say.
Yeah, that is
Finally, completely. Yeah.
That is an amazing introduction. How was the education back then in Northern Eastern when you were a student?
And I started my primary school when I was 6 years old. Before that, I had also had the privilege of joining nursery school, which was not very common those days. Many people used to, if you maybe might have had, they used to start by going to Duxi, that is the Quranic school, the Quranic school. And sometimes people used to go to school when they're much older. In my case, it was very interesting how it all happened. Back, I think, 1975, I saw my friends going to school, and I just joined them, and ended up in the class. My teacher, who was called Miss Alice, she's still alive.
Wow.
Yes, she's still alive. I met her a couple of years ago.
How old is she?
I would think maybe at most she'll be in her probably late 70s, I think, I suspect, or mid 70s. So she's very healthy and alive. And I met her a couple of years ago. And she visited me actually while I was a deputy governor in Isiolo. She came to my office, and I was very, very happy because she was the first teacher I had, and allowed me to join the school. So my mother was surprised because she could not find me at home, and I was not within the neighborhood. So when she saw me coming during lunch hour, arriving back, and I told her I've joined the school, she was really surprised. But she also supported it, and the following day, I acquired the school uniform and all the other accessories required to go and join primary school. So my joining of the school itself came as a bit of a not unplanned, event. And from there, education was, as you asked, those days we did not have this kind of facilities that we have today. There were no computers. Teachers still used chalks and blackboards, and education was quite I would say interesting those days, because it was a privilege to go to school. It was not guaranteed always that you can go to school. If you look at the statistics those days, the number of children who used to attend school were relatively much lower than it is today. Today, I think we have over 90%, I think, enrollment for primary, and probably for secondary we have also a much higher percentage than we used to have before.
I think the first thing a parent thinks about nowadays is education, how to educate his or her kids.
Yes. Those days, education was seen as a privilege. Nowadays, it is more of a right. So there's been a transformation from what we were those days to today. Now, people have gotten enlightened. Those days, 90% of the parents could not read and write. Today, that number has significantly shifted. Many of the parents today, particularly those who are the young parents, I will say those who are mainly below 50 years of age or below 60, most probably will know how to read and write. So there has been a significant improvement, particularly improvement around enrollment of girls, which was much lower back then. So there's quite progress, I will say.
Can you also remember the people whom you have studied with at that particular time? and now today they held important dockets in maybe government, in parastatals, in other big offices. Can you remember some of them?
At various different stages. I was in the same class with a number of people today you will consider as prominent.
Give us the names.
Judge Warsame. Judge Mohamed Warsame was were in the same class. I don't know whether he remembers, but we were in the same class. Nur Gabo, former deputy IG. Ambassador Afey was one class behind me. Mheshimiwa Kainan was in Garbatula school, I think 2 or 3 classes behind me. So I understand advocate lawyer Ahmed Nasir was, when I was in Mandera, was 1 class ahead of me. So we're almost in the same category, I will say. Who else? Quite a number of people, maybe others less prominent, who are in the same school as me at the same time. Dr. Bashir from Mandera. He works now with the Ministry of Health. Was a few classes behind me also. Noor Mohammed Ibrahim, the current CEO of the Sports Fund, was much junior, but we, I think, came almost the same time in the school. Rahima Dida, former woman rep for Isiolo.
Was it a mixed school?
It was a mixed school. It was a mixed school. Current PS for Asal, Kelo Harsama, was 1 class behind me. Alaka Dida, former CEO, Anti-Corruption Commission, was in my class. We were actually desk mates. So quite a number of people.
Do they remember?
Yeah, they remember. Most of them remember. I
think Garbatula, it has produced most of the brilliant people. You have mentioned a lot of brilliant people. Tell us the journey. Long time ago, it was so inadequate for you to go to outside the country to study. How did you get that opportunity to go and study in Amsterdam?
Of course it was on a scholarship. So I was fortunate to get a scholarship to go and study. Of course, as you said, not very common, but sometimes people get lucky.
When you get the scholarship, when you told your parents about it, how did they feel? That you're
they thought I will never come back. They thought this guy is going and will never come back. Yes. I remember when I first traveled, my mother did a prayer. And in Somali language, which basically translated says, wherever you go, might God open the doors for you. So when I arrived first at the airport in Amsterdam, you know, there are these automatic doors, which as you walk in, they automatically open. Then I was kind of mesmerized. I said, wow, the prayer is answered. The doors are just opening as I walk in. So, and indeed, I would say I was lucky. So that had been very, very, very helpful. And the doors were open for me in many ways. How
was life there in Amsterdam, since you are from Africa, Kenya, from Garbatula, and then you went to a developed country? How was life?
Of course.
Was it challenging for you?
Of course, it was quite challenging. Initially, you have to adapt. It's a new environment. The country is much more developed than here. So I needed to do a bit of catch up and manage to survive within that setup. But eventually you adapt, and it was not as complicated as it looked initially.
When you were done with the studies, the masters which you did, were you assured that you will get a job when you return back to the country, or you just return and you were like...
When I came back, I actually did not work in the same field. I went to business.
Directly to business?
Directly I went to business.
Which business was that?
I did several different type of businesses. I did petroleum. So I had run petrol stations here in Nairobi and in Mombasa. Logistics business,
Was it
truck.
family owned or
No,
was it-
okay. Partly I worked initially in family,
Yeah.
but later on I worked also for myself. Yeah, and owned business. So including logistics, including many. You know, when you are a businessman,
Yeah.
You take any opportunity that comes,
Yeah.
including supplies to government. So any opportunity that you feel at that moment brings you money,
Yeah.
you participate.
Which year was that when you commenced that particular business?
From the year 2008, around there, 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of people, when you discuss with them or when they narrate their story of starting a business at that particular time, they say that business was booming on that particular time.
That was, I would say, a golden era.
Yeah,
it was a golden era.
Even my
Yeah.
own biological father,
Yeah.
he had a lot of money on
Yeah.
those period.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
he says that,
What has happened?
yeah,
What has happened is when President Kibaki came
yeah,
to power and he became president in 2002.
yeah,
What he did immediately was to free up money into the local market by stopping government from borrowing locally. So when the government stopped borrowing, you know, when the government borrows from the local market, it crowds out or mobs out funds
yeah,
from the small
the
businesses.
small businesses.
So that's what he did, and you know, immediately most banks have so much liquidity,
Yeah,
and you know, anybody who wanted to start
At a lower
business maybe at a lower rate, and money generally became available.
Yeah.
So it was what I would say one of the golden times here in Kenya.
So you started a petroleum business. What are some of the failures, maybe challenges you faced during that particular time?
Petroleum business is very difficult.
Yeah,
It's not as easy as people think,
yeah,
because it's a product that is easily that has a high demand. I would say. When it comes to fuel theft,
Yeah.
it's more easier to sell stolen products, and you are dealing with a product that is not visible to you. You know, a product that's in a tank and you can't see it physically.
yeah,
So you only trust that what is inside there is what either you are told is there,
yeah,
or what you feel is maybe, you know, what we do is we do dipping.
yeah,
Dipping is a kind of measuring
yeah,
of the level of fuel. So those days, nowadays it is much more automated. So I think those challenges now maybe
they have been reduced.
they have been reduced.
Yeah,
But it was a product that was very easily could easily be stolen, and you could easily lose, and it can evaporate also.
yeah,
So you know, fuel is it can easily evaporate. So it is not a very, and it was also largely cash based. And when a business is very much cash based,
the percentage of theft is so
percentage of
high.
theft is also higher.
Yeah,
Nowadays, a lot of those things I think have been mitigated through either M-Pesa
yeah,
and through other digital form of payment. So, but those years it used to be very, very, very big challenge.
And why did you think of petroleum? Why not other businesses? Maybe starting a retail shop, wholesale.
Petroleum was at that time available. I had an opportunity to be offered a dealership of one of the major oil marketeers, and it was easier to operate it at that time. So it was the opportunity that presented itself to me. It was not for any particular. And then also the thinking was that it's a very lucrative business. That's what you think initially,
Yeah,
but it is not. So for anybody who wants to start fuel business, it's a risk. It's a risky business, so you have to know. But initially, because it appears to be, you know, money making, that's what you assume. You think that the rate of return is good.
yeah.
Many people fall into that trap, and later on, they face challenges. Yeah.
When you opened that particular business and you initiated it, after some years, did you ever think that you will one day go back to maybe employment or 9-to-5 job, or you are like, I'm for business and for business for all?
No, I never thought.
Yeah.
I never assumed that time will come. But as fate will have it, now I'm doing a 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
so which I'm not regretting. I mean, it's also fun. I mean, I had the privilege, and I'm very thankful to God that I had been able to serve in very many different capacities, and was able to enjoy a lot of privileges that were not accessible to many people.
Yes.
So not everybody gets an opportunity to serve as a deputy governor. It's only a few people who can access that kind of privilege.
Yeah.
No, not many people can do the kind of jobs I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Only a few people maybe.
And I can see you're a busy guy. You are in this town today, tomorrow, in that particular town.
Exactly.
You are some of the times you are with the head of the state.
Yes.
A lot of ministers. The other day I was seeing you with the CS of health.
Yes.
So before we even indulge into politics, during those, I want you to tell me what was business during those time, like 2008, 2009, because nowadays people are lamenting about taxes, a lot of taxes with various names. The city council, doing business nowadays has become a menace. It is very hard, and to break even nowadays, it has become a miracle. During your time, how was business? How was taxes? How was the economy?
Business was different, I think.
Yeah.
Those days, taxation was not as high as it is today.
Yeah.
Right now, I think people pay a lot more taxes than we used to pay.
Yeah.
And the level of enforcement also has gone up. Those days, the level of enforcement we have today never used to be there.
Yeah.
So
there were no E-teams.
Yes, the E-teams were not there.
Yeah.
Even the ATR machines, which later on became very common, were just beginning.
Yeah.
So they are not really being enforced as much as they are being enforced today. It is today more easier to set up a business, to register one. It's more easier today. Those days, if you are to register a business, it will take you minimum of 3 months, to and fro, correspondence to the registrar of companies and back to and fro. It used to take a bit of time. But nowadays, you don't even have to do a lot of work. You only need to appear there and show your interest to open an account, a bank, a company, business, and then within a few days, you can walk away with your certificate.
Yeah.
So as far as that's concerned, there has been a big improvement. But business also now, there's a lot of competition. In some of the sectors those days, competition was much more lower. And these are natural progressions that which are expected. Business will be much more difficult 10 years to come than it is also today.
Is competition good for business or bad for business?
Competition is very good for business.
Yeah.
I'll give you a good example.
Yeah.
If you go to Kirinyaga Road, everybody there sells spare parts.
Yeah.
So there are over 1,000 shops within one street.
Yeah.
All of them selling almost the same thing.
We call it economy of scale.
It's economy of scale and competition. And it attracts that nature of, clients. The sort of clients that look for spare parts for their vehicles. They know if they go to Kirinyaga Road, they will not miss. So that is for them, that's an assured destination for getting what they want. So when there's competition, go to Isli. There are over 1 million shops selling almost the same product. And they seem to be all doing well. So competition never really kills business. It actually sharpens it and it improves. So business people should not fear competition. You will find in some areas, you will only find restaurants. If you go to industrial area, you will find go downs. They're all in the same location. It means if you go to those areas, whatever you want, you will get. So competition, in my view, is very, very positive. And it also makes businesses efficient. Yes.
And also it enhances innovation. People will come up with a lot of ideas.
And they'll come with a lot of ideas.
to outstand their competitors.
Yeah.
Beside petroleum, which other business were you doing at that particular
I was also doing transportation.
Transportation.
I used to transport for the UN, for international organizations,
Yeah.
to take them to the neighboring countries, relief
Yeah.
items, non-food and food items.
Yeah.
All of them I used to do. So I had a contract to supply,
That seems
to
a
transport.
big contract.
It was a big contract, yeah.
That is a monumental contract.
Yeah.
And how was that business doing?
It was good.
Yeah.
Those days again, once again, competition was much less than it is today.
Yeah.
So the rates were very good. They used to pay us a lot of money. But today, maybe for the same distance and the same volume, people are being paid probably 4 times less than what was being paid then. So there's quite a big difference. And I suspect people are still making a little money out of it here and there.
Yeah.
But I will think it was much better back then than today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you believe maybe a business today and a business in the next decade, still today will be better than that?
Today we'll be seeing it much more easy. It will be much more easier to do business today than to do it in the next 10, 20 years.
Why do you think so?
Because a lot of things may change also.
Yeah.
Many of the businesses that we do, what will happen, new opportunities will come.
Yeah.
20 years ago, these digital businesses were not there.
Yeah.
So we will not even have this kind of medium. The only medium electronic that was known was TV.
Mainstream.
And mainstream. And there were about 2 or 3.
Yeah.
40 years ago, 30 years ago or beyond, there was only one TV, the whole country. So today, you can't count it. So people have found niche inside this, what was not seen before.
Yeah.
Mobile phones came, which were not there before.
Yeah.
So new opportunities came. Who knew 30 years ago, who would have guessed that border borders, 1 million border borders will be moving around here in Nairobi, and they will offer opportunities to young people. I sometimes wonder, what will this 1 million young people riding border borders in Nairobi today, what will they have been doing if they were not there?
They will pose a danger if they were not employed.
So all of a sudden, taxi businesses crop up. These,
the hailing cabs,
application-based.
The hailing cabs.
Yes,
Yeah.
the hailing cabs all of a sudden appeared, and a lot of people are working. The opportunities in the digital, market. A lot of young people now are finding something to do. So some new things could crop up.
Yeah.
That will be different from what we see today. So the businesses are going to change. But business as we know it today definitely may not stay the same. It will be quite different.
Because of the policies and
innovation and also technology.
Trump
and technology will come.
One day and then
I can imagine
imposes 25% tariffs.
that also.
Yeah.
But also innovation and technology will change how we are going to do business. Probably 20 years from now, nobody will go to a supermarket to go and do shopping. All you need to do is AI. It will know that your house, the milk is running out. So you will see a pint of milk being delivered and just dropped at your doorstep, and you just collect. And automatically the money will be deducted from your account.
Do you believe that?
Yes. Yes.
Are you going there?
We are going there. Life will become very, very artificial compared to what we know today.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I believe it has its own challenges also.
It will have its own challenges.
Because the technology, the paradox in life is that as technology emerges, we are losing a lot of things.
Yes.
Yeah, technology emerges and it enhances our lives, but a lot of things are becoming behind on a lot of things. So you were a businessman, you went to school. How did you find yourself in politics?
While I was in business, in 2012, or 2010 rather, we got a new constitution.
Yeah.
The new constitution brought with it the devolved system of government. Article 11 of the constitution introduced county governments. So for the first time now we came to learn we are able to govern ourselves at a local level.
Yeah.
And funds and power will be devolved. So I thought maybe I can be able to contribute to my community. Initially, my thinking was to run for governor. Then, in politics, you normally do your own mathematics in terms of numbers. And then I realized probably what we need to do is...
the phrase normally the president used, ni kujipanga.
Kujipanga. So, kujipanga became that now I choose to become a deputy governor.
Yeah.
It is...
Who was your governor?
My governor was then called Godana Doyo.
Governor Doyo.
Yeah. And and it was not something I thought over for very long.
Yeah.
It was just a decision that happened so quickly.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder, fate and God sometimes, plans for you, your future without you really thinking too much about it.
Yes.
So it was something to do with fate and quick decision making also.
So were you certain that you guys will be elected, or you were just trying your luck?
When you go into an election, you never go with the half-hearted approach.
Yeah.
You go with the thinking that you're going to win.
Yeah.
Once you start doubting yourself, then you better not start. So you go in with the mindset that I'm the winner, and you work hard.
Yeah.
So the will comes from you. So we never hesitated, neither did we doubt. We planned ourselves and put our trust in God, and we knew we were going to win.
And when you became deputy governor, you automatically became a leader. Where were you getting your philosophies to lead, your leadership skills? Whom were you maybe taking your ideas?
The person I admire in terms of leadership is Umar ibn Khattab. He was our second Khalifa.
Yeah.
And he is one leader that every leader in this world should be emulating, because his leadership was based on wisdom, fear of God, faith, fairness, and justice. So countless examples of some of the things he did, which today, if applied and if exercised by leaders who are here today, actually we would not be facing the challenges we are facing today. For today, I believe our poverty, our challenges are things that we bring upon ourselves.
Sure.
We could have easily gotten rid of poverty. We could have easily gotten rid of inequality, and a lot of the challenges in matters of health, lack of access to services would have easily been resolved if we all used Umar ibn Khattab's leadership doctrine. Because I'll just give you one example of some of the narratives from his leadership. One time he sent a gentleman to become the governor of Egypt. And this gentleman became a governor of Egypt under the direction of the Caliph. And this gentleman, over a period of time, started becoming wealthy. So the local community in Egypt wrote a letter of complaint to the emir, and told him, the man you brought here he has become fat, and he has become also physically and in his pocket. He has become rich. So Umar called him and asked him, where are you getting your wealth from?
He went there.
He went there actually. You know the story. He went there. So he had to give the guy an ultimatum, either to forget the position or to forfeit his wealth. That is how serious the leadership was for Umar ibn Khattab. So today, if a leader becomes wealthy while on his seat, already whatever, even if he was doing honest business, the electorates and the people he's governing will always perceive that as stolen wealth. He has no choice. If he was to follow that example, he should forfeit all his wealth. If that was the principle upon which leadership would have been exercised today, as I said earlier, poverty will have really become a thing of the past. Because I don't think, to be frank, we have scarcity of resources. The resources we have is very sufficient. But within, I'll give you an example.
Yes.
European countries.
Yes.
Pick a country like Denmark.
Yeah.
It doesn't have oil.
Yeah.
It does not have minerals. It doesn't have any resource.
Yeah.
Actually, nothing comparable to what we have. Yet, the gross domestic product and the gross national product or per capita income per individual is beyond $50,000 or thereabout in those countries. They average around $50,000, $60,000 a year. Whereas here in Africa, we are still struggling with few $100s. Yet we have all the resources. So it is not an issue of scarcity. It's an issue of governance. So I think my philosophy will have been that leaders emulate such kind of a leader. Yes.
When you became the Deputy Governor of Isiolo and you took the seat, you guys were leaving the office by 2017.
Yes.
From the period which you became the Deputy Governor and when you were leaving, what are some of the changes you did in that particular county? And people can remember up to today that these initiatives or these projects was done by the governor and also by Simba Guleid.
First of all, the period 2013-2017 was the inception period of county governments.
Yeah.
Remember, these were the setup years.
Yeah.
When we arrived, the first day, there was nothing in place. We used to have something called county councils. But the system of governance as we now know it was not there.
Yeah.
There were no county assemblies. There were no legislation. And all of a sudden you had this budget for which you don't even have the policies on how to manage it. So I will say one of the biggest achievements we've done is to set up the systems in place. The institutional building, set up the accounting offices, set up the audit offices, the supply chain offices, prepare the necessary legislation or adopt what is already there. So a lot of the achievements which people don't really appreciate sometimes from the beginning were the setup of institutions and setting up the office itself.
Yeah.
Above that, we also had an opportunity, although the resources were also limited. Isiolo had one of the lowest devolved shareable revenue.
Yeah.
We only received initially the first, I think, year, 2.2 billion, of which over 70% was going to salaries.
Yeah.
Then whatever was left over was very little to do development. But even so, we were able to, if you looked at Isiolo town today, it used to be a very dusty town. During that time, we managed to put the cabros, sort of carpet the towns, which reduced the level of dust and made mobility of vehicles and people much easier. Number two, we also, Isiolo town was very dark at night, so we had put up street lights, which is going to light the entire town. It was an achievement. We also increased the number of people we hired, especially in the hospital. When we arrived, there were less than 3 doctors. I think around 3 or something like that. By the time we left, we had close to 25 doctors working in that hospital. So we had done a huge enhancement of human capital in the healthcare. So we had also done quite a lot also on issues of security. We were grappling a lot also with cattle rustling, inter-community fights. So I personally spent a lot of time trying to mediate within communities on sometimes even border issues between our neighboring counties like Garissa, Wajir, Marsabit, Meru. So constantly we had this kind of challenges. But some of the most notable investments we did was the establishment of the Medical Training College, which now has a couple of hundred students.
Yeah.
That's a very visible investment that could be seen. And construction of a few health facilities in some of the wards within the. But the most important achievement myself, I did something way and above. I went beyond the county government of Isiolo. And this is the interesting part. When I became a deputy governor, I realized that opportunity is a privilege. And it's a platform that you can use to influence a lot of development. So I realized there's something we can do even beyond Isiolo. For example, one of the biggest achievements was the setup of the Frontier Counties Development Council, FCDC, which later on I became the CEO. This is an regional economic bloc with the aim of bringing these counties together and solve some of the common challenges around development, poverty, eradication, infrastructure. So immediately I realized this is something that I need to quickly take advantage of for the people. At that time I contacted the World Bank. I contacted the World Bank around 2013 and the Swiss Embassy. And we had a very close collaboration in setting up this big institution. And one of the issues that cropped up, and I remember my good friend, Ambassador of Switzerland, who had been transferred later, it's called Jacques Pitlot. He asked me one good question. He said, Guleid, good idea that you want to set up this umbrella organization. To have an office is easy. We can fund you to have an office with a few staff. But what else should this office do? So we discussed and brainstormed and we came up to the conclusion we need to come up with an investment that is going to change the face of northern Kenya. So after a while we had contact with the World Bank, myself, the ambassador of Switzerland, and a gentleman from the World Bank, who I'm sure is called Dr. Raman, is a good friend of mine. In case he gets this opportunity to watch this, I really want to thank him and the ambassador, who had really pioneered in coming up with the support. So we discussed, what can we do? Setting up the FCDC is no problem. The World Bank actually gave us the seed money to put up the office, to develop the policies and institutional building. But what do we do above that? So we agreed to come up with a study that will show the gaps in development. And we commissioned 3 consultants to go and look at what are some of the biggest challenges northern Kenya has. And why? Because it's an area generally that has been, underserved and generally excluded from development. But then, if you want to know, people make noise about money that has gone to counties now. But the truth of the matter is, if you look at the monies that were spent for development or general investments in northern Kenya, vis-a-vis the rest of the country, we were averaging around 2% of the total national average on an annual basis. If you had show that in graph form, when the other graphs were steep, ours was flat on the horizontal line because it was very little and minimum, only 2-3%, very insignificant. And many of that, the resources then were going to security. So back to the initiatives for investment in northern Kenya. The study came back with recommendations. They said we have now identified several thematic areas: infrastructure, roads, electricity, water, agriculture generally, and livestock. So those 4 thematic areas is what the World Bank agreed to invest in collaboration with the government of Kenya under what is now referred to as the North-Northeast Development Initiative. And that is the initiative under which I'm working now. So the World Bank then accepted to commit at that time $1.2 billion for investing in the road infrastructure. Now you're hearing this popular road from Isiolo to Mandera. It was conceptualized under that framework.
Yeah.
We also had a number of other projects. There's the Kenya Off-Grid Support Project for mini grids to light up our towns. That project is now ongoing. Then we had what we call the Climate Smart Agriculture, which now came to an end. It had a small impact, but nevertheless, it did something. And initially, there was a plan for what we call the Wajir and Garissa Water and Sanitation Project, which, for some reason, did not achieve all the objectives that we had at that time, but mainly on technical grounds. So I will want to say some of my biggest contribution towards changing the development narrative of Northern Kenya came in that form. So my efforts went beyond concentrating only on Isiolo County. It went much bigger. What the other area that, and this is very important, that then I had spent a lot of time to organize, is to form the thinking around how to bridge the gap of underdevelopment. And this you can only do when all the development partners are on your side. So through that, and with support of the British government, we came up with something called the Northeast. There's this outfit which brings together the Northeastern leaders, plus the embassies, development partners, the World Bank, all under one umbrella, and the United Nations. It's called the Northeast Working Group. Well, that's what we used to call it, the Northeast Working Group. It was mainly supported by the British Embassy, but it was bringing together all these actors.
Yeah.
And the idea was to discuss and shape the narrative and advocate. So advocacy was very key. And through that, we managed and succeeded in influencing policies of some of the developed nations towards Northern Kenya.
Yeah.
If you look at now, you can go and do that investigation.
Yeah.
The Dutch government, for example, has some kind of a soft spot towards supporting Northern Kenya.
Why?
In their policy, because of the advocacy that we did. We showed that there was, as I told you from the beginning, we had very low investment from the government of Kenya. So we needed to bridge this gap. So they also reshaped their thinking. The United Nations came up with something called reaching the farthest first, and leaving no one behind. These were all policies advocated for purpose of inclusion. And a number of other development partners, the Swiss Embassy, the British government, the USAID, we managed to influence this thinking. All the partners. Yes.
Let's get to a very important topic, and it seems to be a hot topic. You were once a leader in northern part of Kenya. That this trending issue whereby the leaders there are not doing enough for their voters, for their people, and maybe they're using all the resources and they're investing in it here. And the other thing I want to ask you is that the issue of marginalization. Since I was a child, we were bequeathed with this statement that we are being marginalized. I'm sure if it continues, also my child will also hear the word marginalized. Does the word marginalized, does it have an end? Since the government is now devolved, we don't need to go to the central. It's not centralized, it's devolved. You're getting your equal share. Do you think that we were using these resources pragmatically? Do you think whatever the former deputy president is saying, do you find a whiff of truth inside it?
Let us bring all these discussions into context.
Yes.
And the counties of Northern Kenya are some of the poorest counties.
Yes.
We have We sit on totally the region that is now referred to as the FCDC region.
Yeah.
Is comprising of 10 counties, and it makes up around 65% of the Kenya's landmass. But if you put up the entire Asal area, which are mostly what you refer to as marginalized, it will go to almost 80%.
Yeah.
And no much investment has gone to these areas since independence.
Yeah.
What you see as devolved funds is not as monumental as it's being made to look like.
Yeah.
If you look at against the need and against the gaps, it is still a drop in the ocean.
Yeah.
What northern Kenya needed was a kind of a Marshall Plan. In fact, when we were thinking of the NED initiative, our thinking was a Marshall Plan kind of thinking, although the resources did not reach that level, but that was the thinking, to bridge the gap in development and establish or initiate this kind of Marshall Plan idea. That's what we need. I'll bring you closer to now. Let's pick one county as an example. Let's pick Wajir. I'm just picking randomly. Yeah. The county of Wajir is probably now getting around 12 billion or 11, I don't know. Something thereabout per year. Or maybe slightly less. We need to demystify that amount of money. May it appear big when mentioned in one breath, but like any other expenditure, you must break it down. So how much of that money goes to overheads? Probably I will say more than half of it will go to salaries to start with. Because remember, when the county governments came on board, it's required to hire a lot of people for whatever reason. Maybe they can debate over whether all those people are needed. But to me, it's a way of even expending the funds into local pockets. So that's one. Number two, then there are other forms of overhead costs. So what is left for development is most of the time, even the control of budget was realistically put benchmark 30% development in the budget. So 70% is expected. It's a national thing, even at the national level. Over 70% of the budget never goes to development. It goes to overhead and recurrent and paying debts. So this idea of saying this region received 1 trillion shillings, what did you do with it? So you are 1 trillion shillings, 700 billion went to salaries. So what do you do with 700 billion that went to salaries? Did you expect to have a major highway? Money that you have paid for salaries. Were you expecting the same money to do for you a road? Were you expecting the same money to do for you a hospital? So it is not realistic. Sometimes our people are not realistic as far as that is concerned. Also, because I travel a lot, I visit most of these counties. Many of the people who make noise, including people who purport from that to be from that area, may not have even visited their counties the last 10 years. But they will be very, harsh keyboard warriors and write a lot on social media. If you ask that person when was your last time you visited Wajir, he may even not answer you. He has not even gone there since devolution. He's not aware. If you go to Wajir today, Wajir town has got tarmac. Almost 40 kilometers of tarmac within the town. Did we have that? Courtesy of devolution. Devolution contributed large percentage of that. Few was done by national government, but most of it was done by devolution. Today, the county government has set up a very modern hospital. Is that not something to be proud of? If you look at the infrastructure that has been put in place. So the narrative that the money has not done anything is not true. You don't have to be realistic, because I'm just saying the truth. I know many people don't like it. People like to start with to criticize and to
give
just
some facts
without necessarily being objective. So from where I sit.
So in your opinion, you believe the money was utilized in a correct way?
I'm still coming to that. So I'm saying there has been a big improvement in terms of where the counties were then and where we are today. What I think is a challenge for most counties is communication. Governors are not able to communicate this information sufficient to the public. Because most of them, they are silent and they are not saying anything. So when things are thrown at them, it appears as if it is true. But I think if they had really come out with good communication of what they are doing, the roads that they are doing, the hospitals that they are building. I don't know whether you have been to Mandera.
No, I've never.
If you see the hospital that was done by the county government, it's an amazing facility. If you see the teacher training college that they did, the county government of Mandera built a teacher training college.
Yeah, I was seeing the Deputy Governor.
Yes, they built an MTC. You remember when we had teacher shortages?
Yeah.
The governors sat down and agreed. And each one of them set up a teacher training college of their own. That's an achievement. Unfortunately, this information is not coming out.
So you're saying they don't have a
it
good
does
PRT?
not mean resources are also being misused. I'm not trying to say that. I am very sure that there are also attempts at misappropriating some of those funds. But what I just want to say is we need to look at it with a nuance.
The governor of Mandera is your friend. I personally know that.
Yes.
There is an issue of seedling. There was a lot of issues, and these issues, it is not once, it's not twice, it's not thrice. They have been there. Our governors are not able even to answer the Senate on whatever initiative they are taking, on whatever development. They're not even.
Then I told you, English is the language of the people of Igrat.
Yeah.
When you interview me in English, sometimes even me, I'll fumble.
Yeah.
So I will not really be worried about that.
But carry the pictures, the development pictures. You don't even need to explain.
You don't need even to say verbally.
Come with the video of the seedlings covering a whole area, and just say these are the seedlings we're using. These are the roads we built. This is the level 5 hospitals we built.
Yes.
It's not must.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
No, I'm also not suggesting that there has been misuse of funds in the counties. I'm sure those also happen. You remember, our county governments are not on an island. They are just part of Kenya.
Yeah.
And Kenya, we know that a lot of services happen when people pay for them in one form or another.
Yeah.
So, the other part of this story, could we have done better?
Yeah.
That would be a more appropriate discussion.
Yeah, discussion.
I believe we could do things much different if we could really think. Even though I can say they also do very good things. Like in Mandera, look at the bursary scheme. Do you know in Mandera County, no child is out of secondary school because of fees? Are you aware?
Yeah, I've heard so.
It is true. I've spoken to teachers. To me, that's a huge investment. Let me tell you the truth. In fact, even better than to do roads, better than to put up structures. If you invest in young children, in the human capital, that's what we need, more than anything else. So as far as that's concerned, Governor of Mandera, I really want to appreciate what he has done. Investing over 400-500 million shillings annually to completely cover educational needs of the children. I mean, that is phenomenal. But coming back to whether it can be better, I think we were able to, one mistake that governors do is, and which they could improve on, is you are just human. You are not an angel. And you have been chosen not to rule over people, is to work together with the people. So what governors need to do is to set up a good structure and platform for consultation in terms of how investments in the country should be done. If there is a proper, and the Constitution has provided for public participation. You know, this public participation, you can do it in different ways. One of the best ways, I think, to me, is if there is a council that is formed. That council, which is, appointed objectively, with the aim of just advising on how to use resources, where they can also do an independent verification of some of these projects that the government is trying to suggest. County assembly should be doing the oversight, but they can be compromised. So what you need is another layer, independent, to do independent audit, to look at the books, and to advise the governor and tell him, we are seeing A, B, C, D. We are not happy with what you are doing. So we should be willing as leaders to accept, to get that mirror to reflect on some of the misdeeds that we are doing. It doesn't, cause bigger problem. It only solves. It only helps you. Once you do it in a way that is workable and in a formula that is transparent, even you as a leader, you will be satisfied because your results will be visible, and you will also be. You can also always reflect when something goes wrong. You get the feedback. So I really want to advise our leaders, form an economic council, a county economic and transparency or whatever, you can use whatever language you want, council, which is going to advise the governor. And this one you can choose eminent people. You can choose people who are respectable and who don't even need salary from you. If you select key notable people who are already independent, some of them who have retired and who have got, background in various fields, like accounting, like, in other kind of education or in other forms of, thematic areas. Bring them together, let them advise you as governors, as leaders, so that they can be able to give you proper guidance, and you'll have many of these problems solved.
As we wind up, the question which has been running in my mind is that all that region you are speaking about, which covers maybe 80%, 75% of this country, why is it not viable for these big corporations, big factories, big entities to set their factories there so that our people may get employment opportunities, our condition improves, the counties get a lot of revenues, and all these things? Because it is not viable that all the resources we are using, all the resources of county government, not all the resources, majority of the resources of county government goes to salaries, goes to recurring expenditure, when all this can be covered by these big factories, big businesses. I mean, the businesses, they are few, they are irrelevant. What is your take about that?
Setting up factories and industry requires some minimum forms of infrastructure. You must have sufficient electricity. You must have sufficient water. You must have, nowadays, access to the internet, roads. That will make it easier to evacuate your product to the market. This region you have mentioned has less than 10% of the road infrastructure nationally. Although it is, in terms of area, land coverage, it's over 80%. But in terms of roads, it's under 10%. So you see already the handicap. In terms of electricity, it is also in the same category, very small percentage. Kenya is now having over 70% electricity penetration. Northern Kenya is still lingering at their less than 20% access. Water, access to water, we are still moving around 35-40%. When nationally people are talking about 80%. So all those things have to be corrected. So it requires, that's why I said we need a Marshall Plan.
But if we keep saying so, nothing will change. I mean, our leaders, all of them nowadays, they are pro-government. All our leaders, actually, I've seen few of them. Why can't we lobby the president, since we have close relationship with him? Why can't we lobby him and we take we show him the direction of Northern Eastern? This is our problems. We don't have this thing. We don't have this thing. We don't have roads. We don't have infrastructure. We don't have social amenities. We don't have these things. And then we form one umbrella, one alliance, a robust one. so that when we go to the president will hear our grievances and he does something. Because this thing has been there. I mean, the marginalized thing, we are not getting development, we are not getting something.
Yeah.
But this is the closest time we are with the president. I mean, he's counting on our votes 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
First of all, I will really want to appreciate the current president.
Yeah.
Contrary to leaders who are there before, he has a soft spot for this region.
Yeah.
He has shown through countless examples.
He is the first. Was he the first president who slept in Mandera?
Yes, he's the first president who slept in Mandera.
Yeah.
He has slept in Wajir. He has slept in Garissa.
Yeah.
I see normally, sometimes I sit with governors. They pick their phone and they call him and he's just a phone call away. He's like, hey, governor, he talks to them. So you can see there's a cordial relationship. He seems to be having a soft spot. And I agree with you. How we convert that goodwill to our benefit, it requires constant consultation. I know the leadership for Northern Kenya have various platforms. There's the FCDC, there's the Pastoralist Leadership Summit, there's the Northeastern Parliamentary Group. There are quite a number of platforms where they meet and discuss these things. Maybe there are also a lot of things happening behind the scenes that people don't see. Recently, was it in 2024, we took Northeastern leaders to Mombasa, and we came up with a kind of a development plan, an elaborate book. I even have it. Actually, I'm the one of the architects who sat down with them and designed for the book and what is inside. So, and the idea has been to sell those ideas now to the president and to the government. And so it's not that they are not doing anything. To be fair to them, people think that they are not doing anything, but they are doing quite a lot. But still, and you know, Fatudin development also is a process also. It's not a one-time thing.
It takes years.
It takes years. Like the road we are now doing, and this comes back now to the initial.
Is the road actually happening?
It's going on. Yeah, it's going on.
It's going on.
It's going on. Yeah. So it will take time because 740 kilometers of road is not something that can be done in a day. It will take a couple of years. So quite a number of things also are happening at the same time, and we may not see their impacts now. We will just feel them maybe in 10 years' time or 5 years from now. So there is quite some things also moving. There are projects that are here which are going to come, including water, including energy. There's a plan to connect both Wajir and Garissa to the national grid. There are quite a lot, some few issues that are quite key to solve the issues you mentioned in job creation, development of industries, manufacturing. Those things are very necessary. And I see there are some concrete efforts being done. And these leaders also, they canvas, they do a lot. They move around, they walk, they go to. And sometimes I go with them, I see the efforts they are trying to put. Maybe that's why I say their communication is not coming out well.
They should.
Yeah.
Because
and they should be appearing on your show.
Yeah.
So that they can come and sell their agenda here.
I will personally go to them.
Yes.
Because the reason why I'm saying so, Northeastern, our main thing is livestock. One of the biggest companies of processing meat, the skin of this livestock should be there. I mean, they should be domiciled there, but they are not. They are in Nairobi, all of it.
Yes.
So
in Isiolo we have big abattoir. Although it's not yet operational.
So we must do something about this thing. To end up, do you have another political ambition? Maybe are you running for a seat?
No.
So
no plan.
No.
You're just enough. I will do other.
Some will say this is the first African that said no to a seat.
No, I'm going just to do what I'm doing.
Yes.
Which is also very satisfying.
Very satisfying.
Sometimes I feel I'm doing even more. Than when I'm on the seat. Because
you're actually doing good for them.
It gives you a bit of space.
And also you are doing good for the public.
Yes.
We want to thank you, Mr. Mohamed Guleid, for your time.
Thank you.
We have learned a lot, and I'm sure our viewers who did not have idea whatever is happening in Northern Eastern will get a clue, if not an idea. We also wish you to come again and again so that you enlighten us about the development agenda, about your lessons, your skills, your prudence, and everything that you have in you. Once again, thank you so much.
Thank you.